Come check out owlsherbs.com where we have all of your herbal needs and different variety of products from sea moss to black seed oil and a different variety of products for different health issues because your health is your wealth.
Hey, pushing niggas white splits been gone. Bitch on the switch when you 6 stars like Jiggy that don't mean more money up getting. If a nigga try to take which splitting shots out to my soul. You all buzz on bitch up with no. I'm like moving like a soldier. Big, like a soldier. Bitch, moving like a soldier.
All right. Yeah, so that's a little pre-workout little video there. That guy, man, I don't really go to the gym. I try to work out, when I'm at home. I do recommend people going to the gym. Going to the gym is pretty good. If you got a good gym that has the amenities that you like, pretty much. I'm definitely pro gym. I'm getting ready to get on the exercise bike and working on out. Uh, yeah, the gym, man. Sometimes, man, get some crazy people to join the gym, but this dude, man, um, he's pretty ripped, man. It's it's a lot of people, man. They have a lot of stuff going on inside their body. Some people need action. They need nonstop continuous action. That's what people don't understand about children. They want to give them all of these antidepressants. And one of the things about it is, some kids they need to expel energy. They need some after school activities and something to tire them out naturally, such as extracurricular sports or after school sports and stuff like that. you know they need to be moving, man. It's not something that just so they can sometimes people and teachers too, and this is what people rag on Dr. Umar, and it's funny, it's comical, entertaining, but when Dr. Umar is down to business, when he says what he says, that hit home, is that they so quick to run to the pharmacists and the doctors and whatnot, subscribing these kids these medicines, because the teachers can't deal with the students with all the energy. They want to just go about their day and make their money and go home. They don't want to. They don't know how to deal with children with a big ball of energy. So young kids, even older children, they don't know how to control that ball of energy. And the parents, a lot of times, it's just pretty much women raising kids in a lot of areas, especially in the Black community, right? So some of your boys, they might have a lot of energy, a lot of testosterone, and in order to compensate to keep them in the house, because a lot of times if you got single mother, she's staying in the house. Now children are being sheltered in the house primarily because of convenience. And you got some women that they don't really like going out like that with their children. It's, you got to understand, a lot of these women are embarrassed going out with their children, because for whatever reason, and they don't really. A lot of young women are really antisocial as well. You got a lot of women now. They are very anti-men, so they really don't like to deal with men. Dealing with even talking to a man is like pulling teeth to them. So you got that going on. And basically, in a nutshell, it's a lot of weakness. Okay, you got to understand, at the end of the day, the enemy is always at the gate, and they sizing up weakness. So just to put things in perspective, in short, that's weakness. Okay, it's like I tell people, I made countless videos about the social dynamic in America, how it's crumbling. I know I'm not that popular. I don't I don't get the views. I got a sizable subscriber base that's rock with me. I mean, I'm appreciative. I've seen a lot of people come and go. They made their money, they make their little coins or whatever, and they bounce. I'm still yapping my mouth off and consistent, with what my message is and what I'm bringing to the table. And I myself have progressed, in my life. So that's a good thing for me, because I'm coming to you from a perspective of, I'm not broke anymore. I'm just, I'm living my life. I'm, trying to scale my life. But, the problems that I had that I started this channel with, those are not my problems anymore. I'm not rich, but when I started this channel over 7 years ago, I was going live in a rent-to-own house. I think my rental payment was like $400 a month. 100 of that was going towards the purchase price, but you got to look at my video about rent to own. I mean, in short, but I was kind of separated from my wife then, but I didn't really have that much money. I definitely didn't have the concept of the Millionaire Savings Plan. A lot of things were just not formulated. Now, much different scenario. I got a fully paid for house, got a renovation project going on. Property values are through the roof across America, thanks to a lot of different. I would say a lot of wealth in the economy. Okay, the reason why real estate is so high right now is because a bunch of wealthy and rich individuals have propped it up, and then also from even young investors to even people like myself. Every person like myself that buys a property and fixes it up and I'm talking, even myself, like I'm a bootstrap real estate investor. I don't have any funding. This is all through basically me going to work and whatever I, kill and I can eat, bringing it to the table and putting it in this house. Like people like that, like bring the prices up of, areas in real estate all the way to the Black Rocks and the Blackstones groups. They bought up a lot of real estate, a lot of commercial real estate. They got a, sizable amount of real estate, holdings. So they brought up, the prices of real estate. Foreign investment firms also invest in America. So those factors are the reason why, you can say inflation. Those are the reasons why real estate is the way it is, and I'm a real estate holder. My 7 year, period was, I had some roadblocks and some setbacks, and I've definitely talked about that. But yeah, I progressed. I'm not necessarily, like I say, I'm not an all-star YouTuber. I'm not, making a lot of money necessarily off of YouTube and all of that. But in my life, I'm definitely doing what I need to do. I'm basically living how I speak. I'm not talking to you from a perspective of I'm lying to you. I'm telling you like it is, and I'm following my own advice that I'm giving you. If I'm giving you advice, you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a it's a competitive world. You got to understand, when whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to achieve, you got to understand there's people that has already been born with that. Whatever little wealth that you're picturing in your mind or you trying to get to, if somebody already have done that, already got that. That's not, that's nothing to them because they've already achieved that. But just because that's the case doesn't mean it is nothing to you. Every accomplishment is something to be, proud of, and you should congratulate yourself on any accomplishment that you make. Right now, it is hot as Texas, Texas oil. It is, it is scorching. Whenever it get hot at night, when it's hot at nighttime, it is hot. When you don't even got no break at nighttime, it's hot, boy. Last couple days has been a scorcher. Very, very hot. I'll say this, in the Midwest. Okay, I got my cousin's brother is from a different father. He's in the HVAC, and I'm gonna tell you, in the Midwest, one of the tradesmen that do very, very well is HVAC guys. Okay, and I'm talking about independent, or if you're working for a company, because see, here's the thing about the Midwest, and when people say the Midwest, you think you gotta say Chicago, because Chicago is like one of the biggest cities, major cities in the Midwest. When it gets cold, it gets super, super cold. Okay, it gets really, really, really cold, and you need a relief from that. You need instant relief. You gotta have relief, or you'll die. It gets so cold. You got to have that relief. You know what I'm saying? So from that cold weather, and HVAC guys, work on furnaces. Uh, they troubleshoot furnaces, install duct work and whatnot. And those guys, man, they make pretty good money doing that. And also in the summertime, you got to understand, people from Chicago, people in the Midwest, they used to it being more cold than hot. So they're used to it being cold. So when it get real hot, people passed out. Um, Even worse, I'll never forget. It was a heat wave. In I think it was like 1995. I was like a sophomore in high school. Man, it was like 300 people died or something like that. Let me look up how many people died in that 1995 heat wave. Hold on. It was like, man, people, a lot of the people were elderly and they didn't have any modern air conditioning in their home. So they relied on, opening up their window. And then you got to think, this is basically the crack era. This, right smack in the crack era, high crime. I was off. I was extremely off. It was over 739 heat-related deaths during that 1995 heat wave, and this is Chicago. Okay, now you got, like I say, back to what happened is that these older people were living in these homes, and like I said, they didn't have any modern air conditioning, or if they did, they didn't keep it up, because a lot of old people, they feel like they're already going to the upper room and they don't want to spend money. And even a lot of older people don't really have a lot of money, so they don't spend money, when they get older, because it gets hard to, a lot of time people don't understand, it gets harder to earn money when you get older. People think they're gonna live forever and stuff like that, and it's not like that. It gets hard for people to earn money the older they get. After like a certain age, like I think around late 50s, early 60s, there's a drop off, because a lot of times people get older, it gets harder for them to work, they retire, and then their income takes a drop off, right? So that's how usually that works. Now, the reason why, another reason why this, like I said, is related to, crime and, prime timeline of the crack era in Chicago. A lot of older people that live in Chicago, in the hood, right, or in dangerous parts of Chicago, they put like nails and screws in their window frame, so they didn't even open their windows, because in fear of somebody breaking into their house and stealing something from out of their house, and it especially because people target old people as well. They know, okay, that's that's Jim. Jim, he live on the block. He's 75. They know he's by himself. He got an old gun or two or whatever. They target elderly people. So, they put the nails and the screws in their window. Can't open the window. So hot day, 100 plus degrees. It don't even have to be 100. It goes with the humidity. If the humidity is really, really, humid, it could be 90 degrees, but feel like it's 110. So yeah, no air, no heat, can't open the window, 70 some years old with all kind of issues, health related, right? Boom, you know what I'm saying? Ambulance, doesn't even come because who's gonna call an ambulance? They live by themselves. They survive. They spouse. You know, they don't. They live by themselves. Whatever. You know, woman survive their husband. They same scenario. They don't open the windows, stuff like that. And then here's the thing, right? And I'm trying to understand this myself. Why does old people stay in these, you know, neighborhoods that are just, you know what I'm saying, gone? Like, for example, okay, let's keep it real. Okay, I'm where I'm at, you know, I'm in Gary. Gary is progressing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The Mexicans are here. They are fixing these houses up. Okay. Now, when I say Mexicans, I'm talking about white people and Mexicans. It was white people work with Mexicans. Okay. White people use Mexicans. They like, you know, like the NAFTA agreement. They use Mexicans for their labor. And then, you know, white folks got the capital. You know what I'm saying? And then you also, this is what me and my uncle talk about a lot. A lot of people don't understand how money laundering works. And they forget about the cartels. And they forget how much money the cartels actually have. And you talking about hundreds of billions of dollars that they, you know, funnel money. I mean, okay, all I got to do is Ozarks, Netflix, Ozark. That's all I got to say. I mean, that is one of the hit shows on Netflix. I mean, like, it is the #1 show on Netflix. Motherfuckers right now are waiting for the Ozarks to come back on. And Ozarks is so popular that it reaches all demographics, race, culture, can relate to the Ozarks. Black folks in the hood, black folks with money, I mean, white folks, Hispanics, everybody can relate to the Ozarks because they know, they don't talk about it a lot, but they know that, you know, a lot of people use drugs. A lot of people, you know, I mean, they get, you know, supply drugs from South America to, you know, Mexico is the hub, right? It comes through Texas, comes through different parts of the Southwest. Boom, you know, it gets over here. They, you know, have various ways of putting their money into the financial system and getting it back to, you know, Mexico and pesos and whatnot. So the thing is that you got to understand that some of this cartel money is being funneled into, you got it, real estate. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I kind of went off in a tangent, but I'll just say that, yeah, you know, you gotta understand wherever it's kind of like, you know, like this, wherever you see, wherever there's the Mexicans, there's the cartel. That's basically what I'm saying. So, and then wherever there's, you know, drugs as well, and crime as far as, you know, black folks, they also there because that's where they get their supply, you know. So the thing is that I don't understand why. Well, I guess I do. I understand why old people just stay in these high crime communities and just kind of, you know, that's where they die. You know, they you know, people have their family house that they get used to, and then that's where they, you know, they go to their final resting place at, and then old people don't really have that much ambition and money, so you know they don't move. A lot of times where they move is they go to a senior living facility, you know, something like that. But you know, they end up living in these, staying in these. You see a lot of this in the South Side and West Side of Chicago. These old people, whether they be couples or just be, you know, an old woman, they stay in these very violent neighborhoods, high crime neighborhoods. And you're like, ma'am, did you not get the memo like 20 years ago? Why are you still here? You know, and the thing is that, you know, And the same thing goes with the men too. The old men be there too, you know. So it's like you would think like, man, you get up out of there, move somewhere else, but they don't, you know. So they stay in these neighborhoods, man, and you know that's what happened in that heat wave. A lot of them died out because they couldn't even open the window. And then here's the thing about opening windows too. You have to open your windows in your house at least once or twice a week. A lot of people don't understand that. You're not a fucking you're a human living creature. You need fucking air. Unless you have like a very, very expensive air circulation system where you're getting air from the outside and bringing it and filtering it in like an industrial building or a hospital, which most people don't. I would say 99.9% of people do not have some, high quality air filtration or air circulation system inside their home. Most people don't even have a water purifier. I do. But you gotta open your windows up because that's why you're having breathing issues. That's why you're having problems, with sleep apnea and stuff like that. Because you have a low quality of air and you have no air in your house, right? So, these people, that's why grandma and grandpa got these breathing machines and shit like that. Because they don't open the windows. And then if they're living in communities, they're kind of afraid to open their windows. So, you got that as an element. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm sweating like a motherfucking like I just crossed the Rio Grande. Take me a little break. I can see anything in the chat, but I can't necessarily type because I'm obviously working out. I'm on the bike. I'm getting back to it. It's hot as hell. And here's another thing that reminds myself when it gets hot. People don't have no rest, no comfort. You gotta understand, you probably ask yourself, damn, why is these people all these people outside and shit, these young folks and stuff like that in Chicago and stuff like that. Why are they outside? Well, one of the things you forgot is you got people that living in substandard living conditions. And then also, of course, you got people that are extroverts. Extroverts like being outside. Young people are also extroverts too. They don't, it's boring sitting in the house. But a lot of times it's low standard living. Or you don't like some of these children or these youth, let's just say 8 to 18, they don't have what's inside their house. They don't have stuff to do that they really enjoy doing in their house. They're not really taught to read like that. They're not into reading like that. If you haven't introduced your children, like you made them read a book a week or something like that, or whatever, they're not gonna be, the old people be like, well, why don't you just read a book? A lot of times, especially the young kids now, they don't have the discipline and just sit and read a book. They're not gonna be able to do that. You can try to, and I advise you to try to, get your children to sit down and read a book. But they're gonna be better off if you're able to get them to do that, which you should. But the thing, and I'm not gonna go into that, but the thing is that they don't have the things that they really enjoy in their house. My children have everything, obviously, that they want in their house. Like they got more that, and then sometimes, yeah, they get bored, they want to go outside. But a lot of these children don't have, and even young adults, they don't have comfort in their house because they're living in substandard living. The mom, the house is a hoarder house. They might live with their grandparents and their mom together, and it's a hoarder house, and it stinks. It smells like grease, and old grease, and hot dog water inside the house. The house hasn't been updated. It just like a depressing, house kind of. I'm not gonna lie, like that's how it is living in a renovation. Like if you're going through a renovation, it's times where it's fucking depressing because you're literally looking at, I went from like looking at bare fucking 2x4s and framing to now drywall that's like, mudded and shit, some gaps and stuff. It's like it's a process, but like, imagine, that's the finished project. Like, for example, I was watching that Netflix Who Cloned Tyrone or something like that. You if you could see how he's living, like that's his living conditions. I mean, you could see why he's so fucking angry and mad. You know what I'm saying? Like frustrated. Because you gotta understand, like people not gonna show you how they live. Like, me, I'm going through renovation. I'm gonna show you the good. I'm gonna show you the bad of what I'm dealing with. But you got people that ain't going through no renovation. They're living in the final product, and they're living, damn near. I mean, not even damn near, but they living pretty much in like poverty, conditions. And the only respite is for them to go outside and stay outside. And then a lot of times these kids know. It takes a step further. They go sell drugs and stuff and do all kind of stuff because they know they don't want to live how they're living. They don't want to live like that. They want to get out of their situation, and they don't really necessarily have the patience, and they need to learn the patience, but a lot of them don't have none. They want to get out, and they want to get out fast. So they're looking at, the women are looking at men to get with them, to get them out their situation, and they're not making good decisions with that. The men are, going with other men and committing crimes to get out of their situation, man. So yeah, it's that's one of the things that I think about when it gets hot, and especially when it gets hot, yeah, they ain't got no AC, man. I don't know. I've never really looked up the statistic, but you could look it up. Like, how many homes have modern air conditioning? A lot of homes, like I remember my mom's house was built in the 1800s. With the house that we grew up in, it didn't have any AC. I think all throughout my childhood, it was no AC. It was just like a fan, and it used to be hot. I don't even think we got an air conditioning unit in the room, and I don't even remember if it ever was. I think maybe when I got older, I don't know, but it was no central air at all. It was no duct systems. It was like literally. It was like old radiation steam. Like it was steam radiators, like old school. It was a boiler, like, what I'm saying, in the basement. You know what I'm saying? That's how the heat was distributed. In, like, as far as like modern air AC, it was none. So you got people that's still living like that. So yeah, I mean, you gotta understand, that's going on, So anyways, I am I'm going to take me a short break, and I'll be right back. And let me uh, let me play something in my my absence. I'll be right back after these messages. Uh, I guess I'll uh play something play something that's like healthy since I'm in that, since I'm in that realm. Play something that you should know if you don't already know. So let me get this together. Uh, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I guess we can play this. A lot of women, you going out getting these BBLs and stuff like that. But it's women, man, that they showing you how to get the BBLs naturally, or you know, get the form, you know, um getting those glutes and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little something, something right here to kind of help you. This is a chick, very nice looking chick right here that has a very explosive channel, and she helps the women get on their A game. So let's play this real quick. So I guess we're taking two. I just want to leave you with a couple of notes. We are back, Stinky. I'm giving you guys my workout split. I know you guys have been harassing me about it. I apologize for the fucking wait. I'm gonna just be quite frank. My gym, whores. They don't let me record in there, and that's why I wasn't able to get that content out to you guys. But I want you to know that I care so deeply about you and your toes that I've decided to get a week's pass at a gym that is 35 minutes away from here. Okay, so all I'm asking that you guys do in exchange is like, comment if you have a question, and please sit back. I already talked about fondling earlobes. That's all I want to do, okay? We don't need to make it weird. Just keep it casual. My main goal in the gym right now is to build a fat, juicy dump truck, okay? I want people to look at me and question if it's real. I only want BBL questions, okay? So that I can respond. No, it's not a BBL. I just worked for it in the gym. That's all I want, okay? And I don't feel like I'm asking a lot. So I'm gonna give you guys a secret. I'm about to show you programming to build those juicy dump trucks. Come on, baby. We are hitting quads and glutes, okay? Hard in the paint, not soft, not flaccid, hard. Okay, now let's get into this pre-workout. Okay, grab two of them. Fuck it, it's leg day. Grab some honey, preferably store brand. We are going to give it a nice drizzle. Ooh, and I want you to grab some pink salt. Sprinkle that shit on the honey. I promise you, you're gonna have the best pump of your life, okay? I'm only giving you gold today. I want you to top it off with your favorite pre-workout. I'm using the Oxy Shred in the flavor cotton candy. I'm pretty sure the HP or Oxy Shred, they're like still having their summer sale, and you can get up to 60% off if you use my code TNA, which is awesome. So I gym, but I'm not gonna lie, I got like new gym shit here. My stomach is just like, I'm nervous. I feel like this is my first time in kindergarten or something. Like I'm about to meet all these new gym people. But yeah, wish me luck. Jag minns ju den tid du gav mig livebilder, yo. Nu vill jag kunna ge tillbaka allt jag inte kunna ge förut. Det finns ingen annan där som kan stå här by my side, oh why. Sättet du rör på det får mig att dö för dig, baby. För de här yardis, de vill ju bara dra ner oss. Men du är fett och vanlig. Och det jag lägger av min All right, so that's her name, her channel name is Talia Joelle. You know what I'm saying? So that's her. You know what I'm saying? She's doing her workouts. I, definitely, you know what I'm saying? Nice natural bod. She's showing the women how to get those glutes, man. You know what I'm saying? Stay out of the surgeon's office or the plastic surgeon's office. You know what I'm saying? Getting them natural glutes. You know what I'm saying? Um, some people don't believe that that's alpha women. You know what I'm saying? I think definitely it is. It is the alpha and the beta and all of that. It transforms into women too. As above is so below, but I ain't gonna get into all of that. But um, the thing is that you know, yeah, it's a lot to it, man. When it comes to what people are going through, man. It's a lot of people are going through things. They're going through things that is not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Um, the rental prices, right? Also, are very, very, very high. Rent prices are through the roof. Everybody ain't gonna be able to pay for these rent prices now. I, I mean, this is like, this is wild. This is like this is getting crazy. It's really, really getting crazy. Uh, people are still living with their parents. You know what I'm saying? People are still moving back with their parents if they even got parents to move back to. This thing is really, really going to a place where I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like it's beyond out of hand at this point. Um, Even where I live, even in like Gary, Indiana, I'm talking about in the hood, you gotta, it's about $1,000 a month to rent a house, rent an apartment, that's fully renovated and everything. It's like it's really, really crazy. Uh, this is like, man, I mean, this has to have some type of like impact. Now, I say, always try to think about what the impact is going to be so you can formulate your decision making, so you can formulate your investment decision, because I'm gonna tell you, this ain't gonna this ain't gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? This definitely ain't gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? These high rent prices, they are you know what I'm saying, they're gonna be they're gonna be you know what I'm saying. So uh yeah, that be definitely gonna be some issues, to say the least. I don't know how this is gonna play out. It's definitely gonna play out into areas, the obvious areas. Okay. More people are going to go get prosecuted and go to prison, because when people are forced to pay a higher cost of rent, and they're already struggling, they historically have already been struggling to pay for rent prices and stuff. um Okay, that's going to bring the prices of housing up. That's what, it is already, high. That's why, rent prices are up. So then also crime is going to go up. People are not going to, average person is not going to just give up and then not do something about, trying to, pay for the rent. They're going to do something, robberies, burglaries, scamming, frauding, defrauding people. That's going to continue to, be an uptick. You know, people are going to try to, get some, get something from somebody else, because they can't cover the cost of rent, you know. Um, yeah, it's crazy, I don't know how, like I said, I don't know exactly how this is going to end. All I can say is, obviously, it's going to be a bubble. Whenever something rises, goes into that bubble form. The bubble is going to burst, and historically, I've seen, I've seen when bubbles burst. You could, houses that were $100,000, all of a sudden you can get them for $1,000 or a dollar. All this type of crazy stuff. Um, yeah, I mean it's you know uh it when that's gonna happen, I don't know, but this is not sustainable. This is I can tell you that. I don't have to be an economist to tell you this ain't sustainable, bro. This ain't sustainable, sis. No. It's not sustainable. You know how I know it's not sustainable? This is why I say it's not sustainable. People are not making income to sustain this. It's not like a whole bunch of people are just balling out of control and they making a whole bunch of money. Like even me, I ain't balling out of control. The fuck? Hell no. I mean, I'm a seasoned, basically quasi financial expert. That's how I'm able to make the decisions and make the moves I'm able to make. Like I'm what I'm saying, I understand finances. I have a financial system. Most people don't have no financial system. Most people don't even have a budget. Still 34, 35% of individuals don't even have a budget. So the thing is that it's not like I make a whole bunch of money. Like this year, hopefully I might make six figures. I don't know. But the thing is like I've never made six figures. If this calendar year I reach that plateau of making six figures, that'll be my first time. I mean, so it ain't like I said, the average person ain't balling out of control. They not about to probably most likely be balling out of control. So this is not sustainable. This is not like, you know, um, post-war baby boom times where they had all of these factories, all of these like businesses and stuff, um, government funding, GI bills, an influx of money. A lot of people, you know, um, a lot of people died during that war. So, you know, it was a lot of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like that. It is a lot of people that have died because of COVID, other things and stuff like that. But it ain't like this. It ain't like no World War II post war, boom. No, it's not like that. People are not balling out of control. If you ask the average person on the street, they're really going through it. You got people on TikTok crying, literally crying. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I can tell you that it's not sustainable. This high rent prices and all of definitely not sustainable. I do not I do not think that it's one way sustainable. They might be doing it, but is, I don't, like I said, I definitely don't think this is sustainable at all. Uh, at all. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this is playing out. I can already see it's playing out. Like, yeah, I talk about the foolish shit. I post the little bullshit, of all levels, But then I post you with, okay, uh commercial buildings not making their lease payments. Hello, anybody home? Commercial buildings not making their, mortgage payments. That is like freaking a major issue when you have basically corporations that have buildings not making their mortgage payment. That is a big deal. That's something that's like a red flag. So I post stuff like that, and the reason I do that is to be like, okay, this is something interesting right here. This is something that, it's kind of weird, kind of tripped out, because you think a corporation that has a building would be able to make the mortgage payment. And it's not like one did that. It's like, it's happening. It's a few incidents or news stories that this has happened. So yeah, it's interesting to say the least. It's definitely, don't think. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know how this thing works. I know how things work, and that's why I try to be level-headed as possibly as I can. This is a scale situation a lot of times. Unless you're born, into a trust fund, or, born into like a platinum spoon or diamond spoon or some situation, you're going to have to work for your money. You're going to have to bootstrap your own way in life, So I know how that works, and I'm trying to do it. I'm a little older than most people probably. I don't know, but I'm still trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I believe I can do it. And I know that I realize there's certain steps that you have to take. And I'm taking those steps, and it's not easy. I'm definitely learning as well, but just because, I might be in Gary, Indiana this year, and then, Beverly Hills 5-10 years from now. It just, I'm not, making things up. I know my potential. I know the possibilities. It is possible if you work toward scaling up. If you work towards a goal, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Now I say Beverly Hills is because most people understand that. If I say Hinsdale, Illinois, you won't understand that. So I say Beverly Hills because universally everybody knows Beverly Hills, California, is a rich, city or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Okay, got somebody here. What's up, Seeking My Creator? You think there will be a stagflation or a combination of stagflation and depression? Stagflation and depression. A combination of stagflation and depression. No, I don't think so. I think that what happened in 2008 with the mortgage crisis is gonna be like that, but maybe a little bit different. I think that people will probably be losing their homes, because if what I'm saying is true, that it's not sustainable, people can't afford these rent prices. Combination of two things will happen. The people that will not be able to pay their rent potentially, right? they, let's just say they're not able to pay their rent, and the landlords are not able to find new people to fill in that place, then ultimately those landlords usually have mortgages. They're not going to be able to pay those mortgages. Those mortgages will go into the foreclosure, and then that will make some type of effect towards the basically the real estate market. Then the people that buy real estate, the prices will start going down. Then if there's more inventory on the market, the real estate market, then people that are buying real estate, then it becomes a supply and demand issue where it's not a high demand or even a demand whatsoever, and it's an oversupply and the prices will drop. Then people start losing their money, losing their equity and stuff like that. That's kind of what happened in 2008. Okay, that possibly can happen, but I don't even see that happening that soon, because the thing is like I said, there's a lot of wealthy entities that are at play here. Like I said, I'm on the train. I'm looking at the Blackstone Group, over 1 trillion in assets. Over 200 billion in real estate assets. You got a lot of real estate REITs, a lot of wealthy and rich capital that is driving the prices of this real estate. See, you got to understand what the money people are doing. Got to understand, even if you might not be rich, you got to understand what the rich are doing, what the wealthy are doing, and what Blackstone is doing is just one. They're just one company, one major company. It's a lot of other companies just like them that is not as big. So they're buying up real estate. They're buying up commercial real estate. They are becoming landlords and also becoming property owners, and reselling property and all of that. So this thing can be stabilized for quite a long time. I don't think this is going to happen, real fast, in my opinion. I think this could be probably stabilized for 10 to 20 years. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, you got the wealthy that pretty much have drove up these prices. And you have foreign elite that are global buyers that have drove up real estate prices. A lot of people don't understand the Saudis. Most people understand the Saudis, the Saudi, kingdom, right? But you have a lot of oil wealth, a lot of Arabian wealth that you have different kingdoms. You have the Emirates. You have all of these Islamic kingdoms, man. They got kings, princes. They got a lot of oil money. You got Kuwait. A lot of these Arabs, man, they have a lot of wealth. They invest in global assets. Okay, they reach out to hedge funds, or hedge funds most likely reach out to them for capital. They get foreign money, and then they invest in real estate. What is the best part about growing up in Chicago? Okay, I never grew up in Chicago. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. Somebody growing up in Chicago, they would have to tell you that. I myself did not. My grandparents lived in Chicago. We would come to Chicago And whatever, good or bad day we had in Chicago, we was going back to the suburbs at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily, know exactly what it was. Like my homie that I grew up with that lived next door to my grandma, he grew up in Chicago. He could tell you that. I can't necessarily tell you that. I don't know what, like I grew up primarily in the suburbs. We used to visit my grandparents on the weekend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we primarily stayed on the house, in the house and on the block, but my ex-wife, she grew up in Chicago. She said she saw all kind of crazy shit. She said she saw an FBI agent commandeer a vehicle. And then my homie that I grew up with that lived in Chicago, he said he saw the same thing. He saw a police commandeer a vehicle. I myself, I never saw a FBI agent in my fucking life except on TV and movies commandeer a fucking vehicle. Never saw it. Now in Gary, I've been in Gary for off and on, just coming to check on my property, to living in my property. I bought my property in 2020, in June 2020, and I would come and, do repairs or check on the property or whatever, meet contractors. Then I started living in the property in like 2021, like October 2021. I saw some crazy shit in Gary that I've never seen. Like, I've seen so many high-speed chases in Gary. I've seen more high-speed chases in Gary, Indiana than I've seen in my entire life living in Illinois. In a short amount of time, I'm talking about like a 2-year period. These Negroes run from the cops out here like it's like nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's been some really, really like high profile car chases in Indiana. One in particular, this dude, he was running from the cops on 94. Okay, 94, actually I-80. Okay, it's considered 80. Okay, one thing about 80 is it's a trucking. Once you get into Gary is a trucking hub. It's actually a hub. Gary is a hub in itself. It's a hub before you get to Chicago. Gary, Indiana is an intermodal, a logistics intermodal hub. Okay, it's where you can offload freight, offload trucks. It's where you can pick up truckloads, freight loads. It has a lake port where you can pick up freight off the lake. It has an airport. So Gary is a major player. That's why they make a lot of money. But it has a lot of stuff going on where it's like doesn't have a lot of white money. Well, Gary does have a lot of white money in it, but it's like they, silent investors and stuff like that. But most of the white people left. But yeah, I didn't grow up in Chicago. I grew up in the suburbs. What were the summers like in Chicago? Summers is beautiful, man. As long as you stay away from like, the kind of like the chaos. A lot of the chaos is like south side, west side of Chicago. You don't want to be like hanging out and shit, like standing on a block and stuff like that. You go to a club or you go to the beach, hang out at the beach. Like the beach is the best. Like you go to Lake Michigan, man, you know what I'm saying? You got the young chicks, man, go spit your game like that. That's like, go to Navy Pier. Oh my God, man. Navy Pier is like this, it's kind of like an amusement park. It's kind of like in New York, there's like I think Coney Island, where they have like Ferris wheels and stuff like that. That's what Navy Pier is. So yeah, I mean it's very, very nice. And then people get real nice It get nicer. Even Keisha, even hardcore Keisha gets a little nicer in the summertime. Pussy gets a little wetter because it's warm, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when it get cold, it just gets real treacherous. People get angry, people get depressed. When it gets warm and hot, you know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I'm saying? When people get more, they get more nice, according to the weather, So yeah, it's people, man, Chicago has like the news. I don't really know the purpose of why they spinning the news as being such a spin doctor when it comes to Chicago. But Chicago is like a mini New York. Chicago actually it adopted itself kind of like New York. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Midwest version of New York. So man, you got the Gold Coast. So the Gold Coast is like Manhattan. So you got a lot of billionaires that live on the Gold Coast. Who you think own all of them high-rise buildings and stuff like that, man? You got a lot of white Jews, a lot of Europeans, man. They own them buildings. You got some of them people are millionaires, or deca millionaires, mega millionaires, and a few billionaires that live in Chicago, live in the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast is like North Loop, like north, like coast to the north side. You know what I'm saying? The north side is where mostly the white people live, but it's mixed. The north side is like kind of more similar to New York. You have everybody there. You got Ethiopians, West Africans, Pakistanis, Bengalis. You got Polish, Russians, Ukrainians. Everybody lives on the north side, and it's where the real estate is like bananas. The real estate in the north side is more similar to like New York. Like it's less expensive, but you got like old properties on the north side that's like close to $500,000. No, not even $500,000. Like $800,000 now. That's where all the expensive real estate is on the north side. And then the white boys on the north side and white dudes on the north side, they still from Chicago, so you ain't gonna pump them. They not no like Rudy Pools. They gangster. They they know they got powers and numbers. They got money. They got power. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna punk them. And they gonna probably try to punk you more than you gonna try to punk them. And they gonna probably look at you like, why you what you doing around here, because they got like a you know what I'm saying, it's a segregated city. Chicago, like people forget Chicago's one of the oldest segregated cities in the United States. Pretty much most of the white people live up north, and then most of the black people live out south and west, and white folks live in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how that goes. What's going on, Alonzo? So yeah, but yeah, the north side, man, that's where it gets advanced. You getting that north side bread. Like I got like one of my uncle's homies, he won a lawsuit, and he bought a building on the north side. If you want to go to like the play in Chicago is, if you make money, if you make like, let's say you crack about $250,000, get like $250K or something like that, or whatever the case may be. If you want to make some moves, you buy you a fixer upper multi-unit building on the north side, and boom, there you go right there. You going into being a millionaire real estate holder. You know what I'm saying, buy one or two of those buildings. You just buy one, and boom, you there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where most of everybody lives. That's where they don't talk about. That is also Chicago, north side of Chicago, where it's not that much crime. People are absolutely, like I'm saying, like the north side of Chicago. That's where I was born actually, but my parents used to live in the early 80s. But like the north side is like I say, like New York. That's literally where like you got the rich white folks. They live, and if they live in Chicago, they live on the north side. You know, in an apartment or in one of them. If they live in an apartment is, the rent is pretty high. If they live in a building, them buildings is like, if they live in a single family building in the north side, you're talking about like $500,000 to $1 million plus as far as real estate values. The taxes is astronomical, like, $18,000 a year, $20,000 a year, stuff like that. And that's where the fashion houses are and stuff. The up and coming upstarts, startups are and stuff. It's like very similar to kind of more New Yorkish when you live on the north side, because it's near the loop as well. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's very, very New Yorkish. That's the best way I can describe it, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, white chicks, they, you got the white chicks that primarily deal with white dudes. Then you got the white chicks that deal with both. They deal with both black dudes and white dudes. Or they might deal with black dudes in secret or on the side, and they still deal with white dudes. So you got Hispanics, but they will intermix or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They primarily, like the Cubs, they like the Chicago Cubs and shit. People on the south side, they primarily like the Sox. So it's a bit of a rivalry, but some people take that serious, but whatever. I mean, but it's a lot of money, like, you know what I'm saying? Chicago, a lot of New York money is in Chicago. All of everything that I said, Blackstone Group, all of those companies, they have offices in Chicago. So if you want to make money, if you want to be a billionaire in the United States, you want to have an office in New York, and you want to have either a headquarters in New York or in Chicago. That's where it's at, and then you want to be in LA too. So that's the move, But yeah, north side, that's where the money is. That's you got a building in the north side, you on a whole nother level. But I mean, I ain't there yet, I had to go to a whole nother state because I ain't have to. It was just that's where the play was, I found my house on Craigslist. I was looking for owner financing. It was this was the listing. It was a listing. The dude had a few properties, had several properties. He was looking to owner finance. It was a good deal because it would allow me to not have to put up the whole $10,000. I did not have that. Probably had about half of that. And I could put down $3,000 and just pay the little funky $300 a month, and then I could fix the property up. So it allowed me to easily get some property on paper and locked in, and I didn't have to put up all of my money. Now, it's pros and cons if you could put up all the money, because then you don't have to worry about, I don't want to say that funky 300, because that funky 300 that could have went into, materials. Every month you could, buy the whatever materials you needed. You know what I'm saying? So that does play a role into it. But that was when real estate was cheap. 2020 prices ain't today's prices. Now to get to, I talk about the South Side and West Side and stuff. West Side is getting gentrified crazy because West Side of Chicago is very close to the downtown area. West Side is very, very close to the downtown area. So, they trying to kick them Negroes up out of there, slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? And when I was a teacher on the West Side, I told them kids what was going to come. I told them, I said, this is too close to the downtown area. They're going to kick you out. I literally had a lecture, I'm talking about, like to the middle schooler, age children. Man, this is what's going to happen. And it slowly, progressively happened. And that was like, when was that? That was like 2009. So it was like 13 years ago, 14 years ago. Man, I saw that coming like nobody's business. I mean, it literally, all you got to look at is proximity and opportunity. And boom, there you go. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people about Gary. Gary has both of those going for it. Has proximity and opportunity. It's right near the lake. And as far as opportunity and proximity, and it's close to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? An hour on a train, I'm in the loop. You know what I'm saying? Get my coffee. Either I make my own or I go to Starbucks and get my frappuccino or whatever. You said, Iori, do you like Gary? I do not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like Gary. I don't fit in Gary. Gary is primarily more of an 85 octane, 87 octane type of neighborhood, or not neighborhood, but city. I don't fit in Gary. I pretty much keep to myself. I don't fit in. As a personal level, I don't fit in Gary. And then when I even open my mouth up, they can understand this motherfucker ain't from around here. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't fit in. I don't fit in Gary. I'm here to gentrify Gary, Indiana. That's my holy mission. That's it. Soon as I accomplish that mission, I'm gone. I'm not here to, intermix and all of that or whatever. I'm here to finish my renovation and go. You know what I'm saying? Now, will I buy more opportunities? Maybe, possibly. Is Northwest Indiana opportunity to make money? Hell yeah. Northwest Indiana actually is going through a real estate boom as well. I mean, they sell. Man, you ought to be you should see some of the prices of these houses that they're selling in Northwest Indiana, man. It's crazy. Because see, here's the thing that, if you haven't already knew, and I've said this before, Northwest Indiana actually had it the hardest than Illinois, than the Chicagoland area, which Northwest Indiana is part of the Chicagoland area because it's so close. But here's the problem that Northwest Indiana had. That's why you have I'll see a real estate listing in Griffith, Indiana, and it's like $600,000 for this like mini mansion and stuff like that, or just like kind of a big deluxe home or whatever. And the reason why is Northwest Indiana when they had housing shortage issues, remember the housing shortage issues in like 2021? Um, People couldn't find properties and stuff like that. It was a supply issue and a high demand. Well, Northwest Indiana had it real bad because they had no supply. They actually had to start building homes. They had to start, basically uh, building houses because it was such a short supply. You got people. Just think about it, right? I myself still don't qualify for conventional mortgage opportunities. Okay, I don't qualify for a mortgage. I'm still working on my credits, right? Now, you got people that actually had pre-approval letters from the bank. Okay, they already were approved for a property amount and all of that, and they were going. They had a real estate agent that they were working with, and the real estate agent had nothing to show them because there was no properties to show them. So that's how bad Northwest Indiana had it. So that was 2021. Now 2023. Now you have a situation where the housing prices are so high because they still haven't recovered from that supply issue. There's still a steady demand, and now it's a situation where now it's like, okay, I got this gold. You want it? You want this gold? I got a little diamond. I throw a little diamond sprinkles on top for you, but do you want it or not? And then yes, some people going, some people maybe not going, but it's a situation where now they got these prices that are just astronomically high, and I've never seen this. I'm gonna be honest with you, in case you didn't know, the reason why people came to Northwest Indiana in the first place, they came to Northwest Indiana from Chicago or the Chicagoland area because of the cheaper prices. Now it's nowhere to go. Now Northwest Indiana has high prices. Some prices even higher than in the south suburbs where I'm from. Okay, their prices are higher than south suburban homes. So I mean, it's crazy, absolutely crazy in Northwest Indiana right now. I'm actually probably not even. I mean, I probably have my mission here. It's probably gonna be another year or two because I got a plot of land next to my house, and I'm probably going to be buying a shipping container pretty soon because the shipping container is going to do two things for me. One is going to give me a place for storage, and then two, it's going to give me another house. And then all I got to do is basically renovate basically build out the storage container, possibly most likely a 40-footer, make that kind of like a ADU unit or basically a tiny home or a container home, make it luxed out, which shouldn't be that hard to do, and then boom, got an Airbnb right there. Airbnb. Then I got a house next door. So I don't know, man. Might have two Airbnbs or one rental or Section 8 rental with an Airbnb next door or whatever. Just a house with another container home next to it. You're talking about $3,000 a month. I would literally make what I put down on this house every single month, every month. You know what I'm saying? If not more. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I work in IT. I'm an IT specialist right now. That's what my job title is, IT specialist. So yeah, I'm looking to get out of that to go higher up. But I got some issues that I gotta that's gonna probably be a roadblock. But I was listening. One thing I'll say about that, I was listening to if you are interested in IT, you want to look at you want to watch the last Erica Williams video, the live stream she just recently did, like the most recent video she did. It was absolutely fire. The information that those guys was talking about was absolutely fire information. They were talking about how it's like an algorithm when it comes to getting jobs. Like when you're submitting a resume, it's a certain type of way um, that your resume should be in order to get in the algorithm, so employers can look at you and they have certain employers use software to scan resumes, and they use those softwares use a certain type of algorithm. I mean, that was absolutely amazing information that I didn't even think about. And then also a guy was on there. I don't remember his name, but he was talking about how, like, for example, you should reach out to job recruiters on LinkedIn, and you should kind of like see what type of person they are, and kind of reach out to them, because you might be a certain personality type. Like for example, you yourself might be an introvert, right? And you kind of quiet, kind of reserved, and you go on an interview with an extrovert that likes to party, has a whole bunch of friends, that likes to talk a million miles a minute, and then when you're on an interview with him or her, you're just only asking whatever was being asked to you. You're very reserved, very quiet. You're not really saying a lot. They're not going to give you the job, because they most likely don't understand you, or they don't you don't fit in with them. But if you find a job recruiter that's like an introvert like you, has very few friends, calm, kind of reserved, not talkative as much, you probably have a better rapport with that person that is a job recruiter that's an introvert. I never thought about that, but I'm very good at getting jobs. One of the things about me, my resume is pretty well formulated. I have a lot of experience. Um, I got my job unconventionally. I got a phone call. Like, it was just a phone call. I got my job off a phone call. I never applied for my job. I never even knew anything about my job. Like, I had no idea. I just got a phone call. I was kind of brushing it off because they wanted me to come downtown. I ain't want to come downtown, so I was kind of like, I was like, can we do an interview through Teams or Zoom or whatever? Because I really didn't want to go downtown. I mean, one of the things about going downtown Chicago, because there's no parking, either way you look at it, you're going to be out about 25 to 20 bucks. If you drive, about 30 bucks. Because there's a parking issue, right? So you got to park your car in a parking garage or whatever. Now, it is some ways that you can park, but it's risky and it involves you paying way more, like almost 10 times more if you get caught, if you get towed. But I know where you can park, but you got to walk like, probably got to walk like, you got to walk a sizable amount in order to get wherever you're going. But you would, in essence, you would save yourself $20 for parking. But I don't recommend it. People from Chicago know though. But there's places you could park and you ain't really gotta pay for no parking, and you just gotta kind of like walk a little bit farther, like probably an extra 2 miles or so from wherever you're going, or even longer. But I mean, yeah, that was very interesting. That information those guys was talking about. I think the other guy he was from unlifting the veil. Um, that guy. I don't know his name either, but yeah, they were talking about high paying IT jobs, because see, here's the thing. Like I do have a course. I do have a course, and it will get you in the field right away. But these guys are good at getting you those high paying jobs. I am looking for a high paying job myself. I'm looking to get, into a higher paying fields. I'm right now I'm trying to get in the cloud. I'm working on getting in the cloud. But the thing is that a lot of times you might want to just get in the game. It's a lot easier if you just get in the field, even if it's on some entry level stuff, because you got that experience. You'll be a lot better off with experience than just coming in with no experience at all. So most jobs will train you. So that was another thing that they kind of talked about too. Like most jobs, they can train you. If you're a trainable person, meaning you can listen, you got a notepad, you got a pen, you know what I'm saying? You could listen or whatever. You're trainable, and these jobs, they are able to train you. They'll get you with senior guys, and those guys will train you on what you need to do, and eventually, yeah, you're gonna have to ask a lot of questions at first, but then you'll know how to do, what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So they a lot of these jobs train you anyway. Even if you come in the door with knowledge, every company has their way of doing something that's, a little bit different, a little unconventional or whatever, But yeah, I mean, right now, shoot, I'm probably making about close to $6,000 a month. That's what I'm doing as far as for my job. It's well more, like, really, because of my lifestyle, because I have my expenses are very low, because I keep maybe I should do a video on this as well. I have a low profile lifestyle, meaning I don't overdo it. I don't have no high price lifestyle. Like my lifestyle, I keep it pretty low profile, meaning if I really wanted to, I can save, and I pretty much already do it. I pretty much can save about 70% of my income, because the only expenses I really have is housing, utilities, transportation costs. I got children. I gotta give, your the mother of your children some money. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of time. That's how you can avoid being on child support. As long as you have an agreement, you know what I'm saying, and you're not on some vindictive shit, all of that. You just, you come up with an agreement. Okay, all right, you need about whatever. You need about $600-700 a month, whatever, $500, $400, $200-300 a month. I give you that money, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? And then you pick your children up and all that, Uh, you most likely, and then the way you talk, the way you talk, it's all about communication. Communication is key. A lot of times, a lot of guys, they like to cuss their baby mama out or ex-wife out and all that. No, 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 no. You gotta understand, man. The pussy was good. At the end of the day, the pussy was good. Y'all didn't get along, but she liked the dick, you liked the pussy, you made babies, and you just, you don't be bitter about it. You just, hey, come on. I know you don't like me, but I'm trying to do the best I can. This is what I got to work with. Please take it. You know what I'm saying? Now they don't always work, but what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, that's shout out to Def D. Yeah, frugal lifestyle. Like, yeah, man, I I pretty much I keep a low profile lifestyle, man. I you know I could do a lot more if I wanted to, but I mean, nah, I pretty much, man, keep my expenses extremely low, man. That's the whole thing. Like, I try to put most of my money in brokerage, my brokerage accounts. I mean, of course, I gotta it's a battle to keep my credit card utilizations down. Um, Boost my savings, of course, as well. And I still, I got, like I said, I got taxes, I got utilities, transportation costs, going to work, paying for my car. I got a car payment, um, insurance and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, what does that cost? What I'm telling you, that all of that is like what? That's like $1,500 a month. Okay. I really I really don't even need to make as much as I do. I can literally probably, if I can, I was trying to get a remote job that was like $25 an hour. That was like kind of like a backup job. But that's all I need, man. Like a $25 an hour job, I won't make as much, but I'll be working from home. So I don't have to worry about getting on the train and all that. And then I can work on my house while I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? So that's a bonus with that. But the thing is that, yeah, I really don't really need that much. As far as, like I said, about $2,000 a month is what I need to operate what I got going on now. Uh, I could work it anywhere just about and make that. I was actually doing all right before I got this job. That's why I was like, I didn't want to go downtown because I was working for a local, well, actually a national roofing company. I can say it now, GAF. GAF is a national roofing supplier. Very, very good roofing company. I was working for them like one day out the week. I was making like close to $400 a week there. And then I would do projects. So I was making like a little under $3,000 a month before I got the job I got now. So I was kind of like, all right, so, and then I had a lot of free time. I had quite a bit of free time. So I ain't really had that much of sleeping problems like I do now. I don't even, I thought about it. I'm like, man, I don't even really believe in like sleeping problems and shit. It's really like more of a lifestyle problem, because the reason why people complain about sleep because they gotta go to work. People gotta go to work, because like I said, like, definitely Def D said, frugal lifestyle. It's people that they absolutely gotta go to work. Meaning they got a fucking gun to their head. They got a mortgage that's like they paying, damn near $2,000 a month for their mortgage. They got they got a brand new BMW or Benz that's like, $1,200 payment. Their insurance is like, $300 a month. So it's like, like damn near $1,500 for their brand new Benz or whatever. They go on vacations regularly throughout the year. They, women, they get their hair done, nails done, eyelashes, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they gotta go to work because they live okay. So imagine, okay, so a lifestyle like that, how much does that cost a month? And I mean, I ain't even got to insurance, like housing insurance and all that. Like you talking about a $6,000 a month lifestyle, and there's no savings. The only thing a person like that is saving is maybe they got 401k that they got some money coming out, and then most likely they tapped into that. So you talking about $6,000 a month expenses as far as their budget, as far as their expenses, eyelashes, hair, nails, fashion, women have to buy clothes and stuff, makeup and all, high price car note, insurance, mortgage, or if they rent, they got a high rent, you got some people that's into like these luxury apartments and shit. So wow. Damn, I just heard some type of bird. I think that was an owl. But yeah, you got people that have these luxury apartments that's like they might be paying like $2,200 a month, $2,400 a month. You know what I'm saying? So, hardly none of that is any savings. And then they got more credit card debt and stuff like that. So they gotta go to work. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine a person like that losing a job. You know how that's like a big fall. Like that's like like a huge fall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's why people like that, they be wanting to commit suicide. They be getting super. You can imagine the state of depression if you lost your job and you got that type of lifestyle. Imagine the depression from that when you lose your job. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you get unemployment, unemployment, if you lucky, it'll pay for half of your normal income. But most of the time, it's a little bit under half. So you're gonna be falling short. So the thing is that, like I said, my expenses includes renovation costs. I try to budget for renovation costs, buy material, pay my handyman to help me out. Like I said, I got, basically, I give my ex-wife money for my children. Um, Car expenses, transportation car. I got to get on the train. It's like $300 a month. So it's like about $600 a month for just basically going just between my car and actually about 800 car and getting on the train. Utilities, I got electric and gas, water. So that's like on average a month, like about $100 a month. My credit cards, I ain't really got that much, like no high limits or nothing like that. So that's pretty manageable. And then that goes into like if I gotta use my credit cards, I mean it's the money that I put on as far as I could tap into that, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like having a savings, but not really. It's like you really penalized for using it because it's an interest rate involved in that. But you kind of, I look at that like when I pay my credit card bill, okay, at the end of the day, all I got to do is wait a couple days for the payment to post. Some of the credit cards, the payment post right away, so I can tap into it. So it ain't like it's a loss or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm losing something. So, and then I save some money. I said I got, I put some money away for savings. Then I also put some money in my brokerage accounts. I ain't gonna lie, I've been getting my hand. As far as the stocks and everything, I've been getting my head handed to me. I'm dealing with options, and I'm learning, and now I kind of backed off of options briefly, but I'm gonna eventually get back into it. But yeah, I mean, options, man. If you're on the opposite end of it, obviously you're gonna take some losses. But if you just gotta imagine when you're on the end of it where you properly invested in the right direction, you're gonna be making some money, and a lot of it, depending on what you put into it. So I deal with that. I don't put that much money in my brokerage though. Even though I should be putting more into that, because that's ultimately what I want to do. That's really what I want to do in life. If I really wanted to live the life that I really want to live, I really would be a full-time investor, part-time business owner, full-time investor. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is that yeah, I don't have no high high lifestyle like that, and that's why people be messing up. You got people that they make over six figures and they live in paycheck to paycheck, and they struggling because their expenses is way too high. Their expenses way too high. Like you supposed to control your expenses, because see, here's the thing: it's harder to make more money. It's hard to save what you don't have. So controlling your expenses or busting your expenses down is very, very key. See, that's the thing. That's why I'm in Gary. Like, I mean, I'm gonna just keep it all the way 100. I go through what I go through in Gary and shit because I'm an extreme saver. That's really, let me go all the way in the rabbit holes. Let me remind you, I'm an extreme fucking saver. That's another thing. Like I take it even even further than really frugal. I'm an extreme saver. When I say extreme saver, I go through the extremes to save money that most people wouldn't. Because most people, like I say, like most people want to pretend like black people really had as bad, because we're at the bottom a lot of times economically, but black people try to play this pretend game like they doing all right, when no goddamn well statistically we're not doing all right, but black people try to put on the poker face. But the thing is like I'm saying, like it's you can pretend like I say, what most people do, they go get a house in a neighborhood that they couldn't pay they couldn't pay for the house in less than 10 years. Okay, they couldn't pay it in less than 5 years or whatever, and then they get a long-term commitment, get a mortgage or whatever, and then boom, okay, they got to pay their mortgage, whatever that is. And then they get a car that they can't pay for. My car is less than $5,000 left to pay on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a car payment. It's 2 years, 2-year car payment. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like most people get what, 60 months, all that type of stuff. Like they get an expensive car, and they get a long-term, like 4 or 5 year car payment, got the insurance and stuff and all that, right? So boom, okay, both of those money drainers. Money drainers, like money just going out the window, like every month, money out the door, like just getting drained on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's $4,000 right there. Boom, between your house and your car, and then if you got a wife, if you paying all the bills, there's even more money. So it's like, yeah, that's a lot of people live like that. I don't fall for that shit. Cause see, I seen too many people how it go. I seen so many people, man, lose their house, get divorced. The wife don't think the man is worthy anymore because he stopped making money and he can't pay the bills no more and all of that, and he's depressed and feel bad because he feel less than, because he can't afford to pay for a certain lifestyle that his wife wants to live, like on some Wolf of Wall Street type shit. I done seen that. I done seen people try to fit into the, keep up with the Joneses. Then they, lose their house in a foreclosure. And seen that in 2008. I seen that personally. Obviously, countless people can't afford to pay rent, get evicted. I done been on the losing side of that myself. And it's like, man, I learned, no, you just gotta kind of get in where you fit in. As long as you fit in, as long as you have that mentality where you're not going against the grain, you going with what the reality is, you going with what your bank account actually says. You living in your bank account. You living in your cash flow, right? So your cash flow is your cash flow. So if you making $7,000-8,000 a month, you making whatever $3,000 a month. You know what you can do with that. Depending on where you are in the country, you got to work that out. How you work that out in the Midwest, $3,000 a month. You gonna have to probably live with your family for a year or two. Save your money. If you making $3,000 a month, you give your family like, $300 a month for a room. You know what I'm saying? Don't freeload. If they don't ask you, okay, that's fine. Okay, whatever. Then that means you shouldn't even be there a year. You should only be there for like 6 months. Okay. You save up about what, $5,000 to $10,000. Save that $10,000. You go put that down on a property, or at the time you could buy a property for $10,000. Now it is still properties out there that's $10,000. It's not that many because it's bananas, man, out here right now. The properties that was like $1,000 and $5,000 are like $20,000 to $50,000 now. It's crazy. I've even seen some of these houses like $100,000, man. These properties was like 15, less than that, and now they just, what I'm saying, they just, they ballooning these prices. So, the thing is that whatever the situation, if you could find like, if you could get your credit good enough, you could get a house in the Midwest. You put $10,000 down, and your mortgage will be less than $1,000. If you get a house for like $100,000, that's like decent condition, like C grade type, house. Might need some like maybe need to update the kitchen or the bathroom or something like that. Put down some floors or whatever. You can get that, and then your mortgage payment with tax and everything, you get 30-year or 15-year, and then you only paying like $1,200 a month 15-year mortgage, boom, you good. Get the 30-year, only paying like $700 a month or something like that. So you good, you decent, you flip that, and you know what I'm saying, you go from there, man. You work with what you got, you know. That's what I did. That's what I learned to do. That's what I did, and that's where a lot of people get messed up. They they not acting they're not acting their wage, they're not living in their financial reality. They're living in a state of financial delusion. Now, who profits from that? Basically the guy with the pickup truck that goes around. People get evicted. He picks up everything at the pickup truck with his pickup truck. He take it back. He goes sell some of the stuff or whatever. He say, I gotta buy Jordans. I gotta buy brand new name items, etc. Spend all your money as soon as you get it. It will ruin you. Yeah, it's like, there's nothing wrong with buying designer and stuff like that and treating yourself. But as long as you keep your expenses down, it's no big deal to buy that $200 watch you wanted, or buy you something every now and again, because you could absolutely afford it. But when you got a whole closet full of this shit and you're behind on your rent, you can barely pay rent, you're behind on your mortgage, you can barely pay your mortgage, that's where it's a problem. That's where you got problems. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? You got the closet full of clothes, Gucci this, Prada this, Michael Kors this, Dior this, Louis Vuitton this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The prices of luxury goods is like going up because it's a demand for it. Some people do have some new money in the system. Or they making some money now. It is people are pretty fashionable, a la Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? The high value man movement, et cetera, et cetera. People are into the lux, lifestyle thing, right? The influencers, it's all right to treat yourself, but the main thing is your budget under control? Are you living above your budget or below your budget? You know what I'm saying? That's where that comes. Like me, I technically could, and I always think about this. I could technically quit my job. I quit my job. That wouldn't be good for me, but technically I could, because I don't have no mortgage company calling me every month. The main thing I got to do by default, of course, pay my utilities, taxes, my children, my car. I can, go out tomorrow and use my skills and make money. I'll be all right. But I'm not going to necessarily do that, but I technically could. A lot of people can't do that. They can't. That's not a reality for them, because they have a high price lifestyle. They have a very high profile lifestyle where they spend more than what they make. Their budget consists of a bunch of liabilities every month. Like I said, hardly any savings whatsoever. So literally you're paying out for everything that you want and desire. You have nothing hardly for yourself other than, this house that, you paying, through your T4, car you paying through your T4, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it come down to this. And this is a situation. This is one of Robert Kiyosaki's questions and also books. It's like, do you really want to be rich? If the answer is, yeah, you want to be rich, if you want to be rich, how do you be rich? you enrich yourself. Okay, if you don't want to be rich, you want to make others rich. So a lot of people, they're making other people rich, and um, that's what they do. They do that every day. They do that subconsciously, and that's that. They make other people rich. They're not making themselves rich. I'm making myself rich. I have, I mean, I'm not even, I don't even make that much money, but I do it well. I do it well. And I'm talking about, I don't even make that much. So imagine if I made a whole bunch of money, I would just be absolutely maximizing, like, my potential and the possibilities, because if I got, like, $500,000, $250,000 of income or whatever coming in, boom, what I'm saying, I could do that much more impact because I'm very good at it. I got it down to a skill set, living within reality of my budget and my income. You're supposed to play, you play Monopoly, you're supposed to play Monopoly. Like, if you got a lot of income, you should buy property. You should have 1 or 2 properties, that those properties you should fix or flip, or rent it out or Airbnb it, and then you're gonna have another problem, because then now you're gonna make even more money. So that should be how that goes. And I'm still formulating that out, but that's how that works. So you gotta bubble it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you spending all your money, and it's going out the door, you spending a lot of money on cost of living, right? So your room and board, okay, let's just talk about room and board, housing costs, right? If you're spending over 50% of your income towards housing costs, you're what is considered house poor. Okay. If you're spending 50% of your income on housing, you're what is called housing poor. Okay. You shouldn't be spending over 50% of your income on housing. So that's complicated in certain high price areas, of course. I mean, you have all the empathy from me regarding that, but you can fix the situation about a car. You don't have to worry about a car, right? You should be able to get a car for, like, anywhere between $1,500 to $5,000. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. Boom. Car problem solved. And I was talking to my uncle yesterday. And I was telling him, because he was laughing, or he was ragging on the fact that these handyman or whatever, some of the handyman that I talk to, they don't have no vehicles, or they have car issues. And I was telling him, I was like, really, it ain't no such thing as no car issue. It really ain't. It's absolutely no such thing as a car issue. No, it's no such thing. I remember having, like, close to $10,000 like saved in my account before I bought my house. And I remember to myself, I was like, I know I'll never have a car issue, because with $10,000 or close to it, you can go buy another car tomorrow. Because the car I was driving at the time, my Mercedes, I bought for $700 off of Facebook Marketplace. So, okay, worst case scenario, okay, the engine blew, whatever, you go get another car tomorrow. It's no car. It's no, the reason why you have car issues, you got no money. You can go get a rental, put your car in the shop, okay, you need a new engine. All right, whatever, $3,500, boom, put it in the shop, go get the engine, pay for the engine, boom, put half down, $1,500. It's gonna take them like a couple weeks to a month to put the engine in and all that. Boom, you go get you a rental car, you know, or a beater. You can go get a beater for like $1,500, or get you a rental car. You know, boom, problem solved. It's no the car issues is you ain't got no money. As soon as somebody tell me they ain't got no car, they got car issues, I already know this person does not have it. They don't have $5,000 to $10,000 cash. That's what they literally broke. That's what they telling me. Because I already know. Because I already proved it. Because like I said, when I was saving money and I was like, really, before I, got in this house and everything, I was like, all right, I know I absolutely, you know what I'm saying, going to sleep. Remember going to sleep and not having to worry about no car issues. Because it's no such thing as a car issue if you got $10,000 to $20,000 in your account. It's no such thing. Absolutely no such thing. Now, I mean, you could say, okay, yeah, if you got a Mercedes or a Lamborghini, a Lotus, all that. Yeah. I mean, you got different car issues at that point. But for the common person that's happy with a Toyota Camry, it's no such thing as car issues when you got money. When I'm talking about like $5,000 to $10,000 liquid, it's no such thing. That's not, the fact that you got car issues because you got no money. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's how it goes when it comes to money, period. When you got, it's no how, okay, let's just keep it all the way 100,000. Okay. You got $250,000 in your bank account. There's no such thing as a house, no house issue. And you do not live in New York or LA or any other place that, housing is just, astronomically expensive. It's no such thing as a house issue. If you have $250,000 in your bank account, it's no such thing as a house issue. You have no housing issue. I'm talking about liquid. $250,000 cash, $300,000, $500,000. No such thing as a housing issue. I mean, literally, it's no such thing as a car issue. There's no such thing as a house issue whatsoever. Period. Point blank. Like, no such thing. So yeah, I mean, that's why, it's like Lauryn Hill said. It's funny how money changes the situation. Money itself is, people will take your money. You got to have some power, some type of, power within yourself to protect your wealth and all of that. But it's like, I think, man, you got to understand the power that money does have, though, too. The freedom that you have with it. You know what I'm saying? It is a certain level of freedom that is involved with that. And that is the freedom that, I talk about. That's the reason why I wrote my book. That's why I always, have long, drawn out conversations, about money. You know what I'm saying? People be like, money is this and that. And man, okay. And those people have to go to work tomorrow. And they have to. They have no other option. You know what I'm saying? So, I always go back to it, but, it will be a day if you continue to work on yourself. Like I say, like myself, when I continue to scale, it will be a situation where, housing will be no issue. Like I think about to myself, there will be a day, most likely, God willing, I'll be able to buy houses like people buy cars. I'll be able to, okay, I want this house. All right, boom. Now, in certain areas, there is a racial dynamic. Like, for example, I said the north side of Chicago. North side of Chicago, you might have to do some things because you still have an element of, like, even if you got money, they don't want to sell you the house. So you might have to get you an LLC, and you might have to get a white dude to be on your board of your LLC or something like that, or your S corp. or a white woman, you know, you might have to pull a Donovan Sharp or some shit. I gotta get you a white chick to be on your S corp or whatever, and she goes out and get the real estate. You know what I'm saying? Because it still ain't sweet if you got money. You're you know what I'm saying, you're not in Africa. So you know what I'm saying, certain areas you might have to get a white person. Might have to be you should, at the certain point, you should have at least an LLC or some type of S corp, because you in business at that point. Because once you start making over, like over 250,000, over $150,000 a year or something, it's not just a hobby or a job. That's a career at that point. That's a business. After you making some big money like that, $500,000 or something, it becomes a business. So you should have some type of legal entity like a LLC or S corp, because you're making money now. So you get you a white chick or whatever, or a white dude, join your S corp LLC, and he knows, okay, you know how your cousins are, you know how they are. So I gotta get you. We gotta buy this real estate, so you gotta go up there and you gotta represent the company to get this property. I myself can't get the good deal and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you do have to play that element when you go up higher. When you get up higher enough in this country, when you get into 500,000, million plus, you do have to you got to be careful. You do have to get some white folks, man, to represent you in certain regards, as far as certain moves and stuff like that, because there's certain areas where they can kind of fit in better. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But rule of thumb, in the summertime, whenever it's get hot, you can never take enough showers. You can never take enough showers and baths. It's a rule of thumb. Tell your wife, whatever. It's never enough showers that you could take. I'm about to hit the shower, about to get off of here. You know what I'm saying? I had a nice little burn. I'm definitely gonna be doing this a little bit more regular. And hopefully y'all got something out of this workout. Appreciate you for stopping by.